Why is everybody in disguise, sir?
Are you from Garbage News?
I can't hear you behind your mask. See, when you were speaking, this is what it sounds like. You know, like Charlie Brown's teacher. Why don't you show your face? Why are you such a coward? David Menzies for Rebel News here at the North Toronto intersection of Bathurst and Shepherd. And you know, for more than 2 years here, folks, as you know, there has been dueling demonstrators. There have been the pro-Hamas people on the east side and the pro-Israel side on the west side. And that went away a few weeks ago when finally the war in Gaza was ended, when the hostages were returned. But the pro-Hamas people, they kept returning. And last Sunday, they reached a new odious benchmark. What they did is they broke away into residential streets and started harassing people that were Jewish or people who they thought were Jewish. It was unbelievable. Here, check out this footage that our friends Karima says and Lee shot a week ago today.
Israel has been warned by its own Israeli citizens that the brain drain is well on its way in Israel.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. Can you imagine if, say, a handful of Proud Boys went into a predominantly Muslim neighborhood in Toronto and they started chanting for genocide? They started chanting people just trying to live their lives. Would Toronto police tolerate that for 1 minute? Would the politicians from Mayor Chow on down accept that? I think we all know the answer, don't we, folks?
The genocide in Gaza impact us all. Our common law and our shared humanity.
But get this, in the aftermath of that shameful day, the pro-Hamas people issued the following statement, and it's truly incredible. I'll quote verbatim, quote, "We won't be intimidated. JDL thugs need to be arrested. No more attacks. JDL members and supporters must be investigated and held accountable," end quote. It's staggering. The Hamas-holes go out and cause the trouble and then, in a de rigueur fashion, claim victimhood. So we have returned here. Now the pro-Israel people, a smattering of them, have shown up as they have for the past 2 years. And basically, we know the script. We know the chants they make. It's downright boring. But we want to see if they will go back into the side streets and chant their vile rhetoric. So stay tuned.
Are they going to be kept off of the side that we're on so they're not
Yes.
in?
Look there.
Yes, now that I realize that these people are counter-protesting,
Thank
There's
you.
not one cop on
All right.
them. There's not one cop on them.
can you let
Yeah.
me deal with this here, and I'm going to go deal
Yeah.
with that?
You have officers
Okay,
there right
can we
now.
all walk together? Let's go.
Yeah, as long
can't be
as
on this
we're
side,
giving,
period.
as long as we're
I've
being
already
given
explained.
fair treatment here, like they're kept
We
away
need to
from our
communicate. Now, I
side.
want to communicate,
Boom.
and then I'm all about that.
Okay.
Are you from
Why is everybody in disguise, sir?
Are you from Garbage News?
I can't hear you behind your mask. See, when you were speaking, this is what it sounds like. You know, like Charlie Brown's teacher. Why don't you show your face? Why are you such a coward? Hey, folks, as you can see, we brought our beautiful Jumbotron-equipped truck with us. It is flagging the message, nohate.ca. If you're sick and tired of this ongoing hate fest that we see all over the streets of our great Dominion, please go to nohate.ca, sign the petition, and if you're able to, kindly make a donation so that we can recover our costs. Thank you.
Zionism is nothing but a culture of pedophiles, rapists, baby killers, and thieves.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's very hard. What are you? I'm not in any group. I'm transition journalist.
You know, we've already dealt with this.
What do you mean we've already dealt with this?
They don't want you over there now.
That's
okay?
their problem, sir.
This is a designated protest zone, okay?
No, Canada is my designated journalism zone.
Listen, you cannot enter there and...
What do you mean? Sir, this is a public sidewalk.
You can stand right over here.
So, folks, what do we see here yet again? Well, not a single Canadian flag. So many of the demonstrators are wearing masks. Why would that be? Halloween was more than 2 weeks ago. They'll be chanting genocide any moment now. And also, the police seem to think that a public sidewalk in Canada is a designated protest zone. Why? How did that ever happen? So it's very much deja vu, given what we've seen at this intersection for the last 2 years. The big question is, like last Sunday, are they going to go into predominantly Jewish neighborhoods and chant their filthy, hateful... It is?
Yeah, it's
You know,
Canada.
it doesn't look like Canada to me, sir.
No, this is not Israel.
I'm talking, this man is saying this is Canada. He's waving a Palestinian flag. He's wearing a mask. It's not Halloween. It sure doesn't look like Canada to me.
Not Israel. This is not a terrorist country.
Okay, then why do you support a terrorist group?
This is Canada.
Okay. And your point is?
Israel is a terrorist.
Okay, I can barely hear him, guys. He's talking through a plastic mask. It's like the Charlie Brown teacher, you know, wah, 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 wah. So the thing is, I wonder if they will push the envelope like they did last Sunday. They went into residential side streets and just targeted Jewish people or people they thought were Jewish and spewed their vile hatred. These were people that have no skin in the game. And I wonder if these wonderful members of law enforcement, say a group of Proud Boys went into a predominantly Muslim neighborhood and they were chanting anti-Muslim rhetoric, would that be tolerated for even 1 minute? Would it? I mean, it's a hypothetical question because we don't see that, do we? It's only these people going into Jewish neighborhoods. So we'll just have to find out. Say, officers, why did you allow these pro-Hamas people to go into Jewish neighborhoods?
You mean pro-Palestine, anti-genocide
How about yourself, sir?
demonstrators?
By the way, I know your name is Hussein. Do you support those officers that said that the good thing about October 7th, 2023 is that it brought more people back to Islam?
Media, a lot of people after October 7th started learning about Islam.
They did, yeah.
And they said, okay, what is it with the religion that why is it so hated? Yeah. You know what I mean? Why are they being attacked all the time? So people say, you know what, let me learn about Islam. And there have been a lot of reverts.
Well, as they say in Alabama, these dogs don't hunt. I'll try number 3. Hi, Officer Kerr. Can you tell me why that was allowed last week, people going into Jewish neighborhoods and harassing people? Can you? It's amazing. It's like, remember Sergeant Schultz? I know nothing. I saw nothing. I wonder what this woman looks like. You are a woman, aren't you? I didn't misgender you. Eh?
No.
You're not a woman.
Free Palestine.
Okay. She, he, it is claiming not to be a woman. Looks kind of female, but you really can't tell, can you? No. Well, folks, I'm with Rick with True North Transparency. He is an independent journalist as well. And much like we, he was threatened with trespassing for practicing journalism on a public sidewalk. What's going on, Rick?
I was threatened with breach of the peace, actually.
Breach of the
We were
peace?
standing on the sidewalk, having a conversation with a lady, and a cop came up and started shoving me and told me I would be absolutely arrested if I didn't leave for breach of the peace.
But what's the reason for that?
They didn't give me one. They just said, you're going to be arrested for breach of the peace. It's their go-to charge, as you know.
You know, what I find fascinating is that did any of the Hamasholes ask the police to have you arrested, or were the police acting on their own volition?
No, they came, some of the guys holding the flags came over and they pointed at me and said, we want him gone. And the cop grabbed me and started shoving me.
You know, Rick, it seems to me after the last 2 years that the Toronto police, starting with Chief Demkew, they're taking their marching orders from Hamas, aren't they? I mean, to the point that they will do their bidding, and on cold days like today, we'll see what happens in the later hours, even deliver them coffee and Timbits.
I saw that on the Avenue Road Bridge last winter.
That's what I heard about. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
And what they're doing here is they're taking orders from them saying, we don't want this fella here. And meanwhile, like 10 minutes earlier, the public service response team said, this is a public sidewalk. He has every right to be here. He's not a protester. And then a police officer, not one of the public service response team guys, came up and he's like, no, you got to go.
Wow.
So they're conflicting each other's
I don't know if
orders.
it's been a policy. I'm not sure if this is a policy of the chief of police, to say that, to do this, like, to be in their favor. I don't know. It's very hard to say. But in reality, is you see those things, serving coffee and being protecting them. It's an issue. It's an issue. And you see the mayor, what she's doing, honoring the Hamas and the Palestinian flag. And it's ridiculous what's going on with this.
I agree, sir.
I never thought it's going to be happening here in Toronto with the blessing of the mayor of Toronto agreeing to all this.
The genocide in Gaza impact us all. Our common bond, our shared humanity.
Folks, I got to tell you, I'm not going to press my luck, even though we have every right to walk on a Canadian sidewalk and practice journalism. That's not how law enforcement rolls. We still back the blue. I don't think it's the individual police officers that are to blame here. It's the brass. They are pro-Hamas. So is the mayor. And do you remember what happened to me last November when I was trying to practice journalism? Well, it didn't go all that well for me, did it? Check it out. Folks, this is Sharia law like you're seeing on the eve of Remembrance Day. These officers are disobeying their oath. They are assaulting me. They are bending the knee to the Islamo-Nazis.
You look like the butt of a dog.
When it comes to the corner of Bathurst and Shepherd, I'm struggling with what the rules are, because we were told that the east sidewalk, well, that's for the Hamas holes, and for the pro-Israel set, it's the west side. But as you can see, about a dozen, I'd say, pro-Hamas demonstrators have come over here. And, shockers, it's being entertained by the police. So, I'm just wondering, folks, what indeed are the rules? I don't think Canada in its constitution has anything about designated protest zones. I think every square inch of what you see here on these public sidewalks and public roads, it's for the people. It is for the media to cover. But A, the police are not abiding by that. And B, when it comes to wiggle room, it's only for one side. As you can see, they have clearly crossed the street and they're on the west side. So again, please, what are the rules? Now we're seeing a bit of the censorious behavior of the Toronto Police. Remember a year ago, I think it was, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, when he was still Prime Minister, had a secret meeting with the police chief, Demkew. Well, why? The police chief of Toronto does not take his marching orders from the Prime Minister. What was said in that meeting? They won't tell us. We filed an FOI. They denied it. So what were they so ashamed of? What were they being so non-transparent about? And we wanted to see what one of the ringleaders was saying to that police officer. And, the thin blue line won't let us cross. Unbelievable. What are the rules exactly? Because I thought each group had
I feel like you should ask one of the officers of the law, because you guys should do a better job following their instructions. You fail at it miserably, consistently.
Following your instructions?
No, the officers of the law, who you should be respecting.
But why are you coming to the
so
west
bad
side?
at it. You guys keep getting arrested time and time again.
Well,
by
please
the way,
educate me.
how's Natasha since she got pummeled and taken to the ground? That was a fun one to watch. I saved it in my phone so I can rewatch it whenever I want. Because when I was at the March on Parliament, she came up to me, put hands on me, and then whispered the line, "We're all Leviathan."
Oh, really?
Yeah,
do you have,
and then
do you
a
have
day later, I
evidence
watched
of
her
that?
get tackled to the ground by police. How's she doing?
And you're happy about
She
that?
got injured. Is her hip okay? When you're older, it can be hard to keep your bones intact.
You know, isn't this amazing, folks? A woman supporting misogyny. She is actually happy that Natasha
we
got
love
hurt.
Feminism. It's just I only address real women with class. Natasha doesn't make the cut.
It's unbelievable. The hatred. It's all over the line. Anyways. Okay.
As far as I understand, with the police liaison and the boss here, they made an arrangement with them to come back to this spot.
Oh, I see.
And they've
Okay.
agreed that they're going to stay in this spot.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, that was
So
obviously...
they weren't supposed to go over there.
Well, that was a bit of a curveball, obviously, that goes against everything that they've been doing for the past however long they've been here.
Okay.
So they made an arrangement with the boss and the liaison that they're going to come back here and stay here.
Okay.
And then we're kind of reverting back to the way it's been for the past little while. And from what I understand, this is, they don't want people congregating in this area because, as my partner already said, there's cars coming here, right?
Okay.
So they don't want anybody tripping. And also, as soon as somebody comes in here, you see what happens.
I really appreciate that, officer. That's all we wanted to
It
know.
fires them up, and that's all we're trying to do, is trying to avoid any sort of confrontations, and that's all, right? So we're going to stay here and make sure that there's, try to keep any confrontations from occurring here. I believe officers are going to be on that side, and they've agreed to hang out in here.
And if I can tell you our agenda, based on what happened last week when they went into residential neighborhoods and harassed people, we just want to see if they're going to do that again today.
That's great. No, thanks for letting us know that. And we heard a resident did tell me that happened.
Yes.
Our team wasn't here. You kind of know that we alternate teams, kind of alternate weeks, right? So
I don't know anything.
Well, so because we don't work every day of the week, so typically it's a week.
Okay.
Every week you'll get different teams, right?
Okay.
So we're back here. We missed that whole whatever fiasco last week, so we're kind of getting all the knowledge and understanding of what happened as well. So
no, I take you at your word, and I thank you for your time.
no problem, man. We appreciate what you do as well.
Thank you, officer.
Yeah, see, Jesus is alive, sir. Muhammad's not. His body right now is rotting in a grave in Mecca. Do you understand that?
Well, folks, I'm with Pastor Jeffrey Sapuchinik. He's no stranger to, getting harassed by hostile people and, on some occasions, the police, if you can believe it. Now, Pastor, it's amazing. We see people across the street chanting genocide. Law enforcement turns a blind eye and a deaf ear, but you'll preach the gospel and law enforcement will act on complaints to arrest you. What's going on?
Well, exactly. It's perfectly fine to literally chant from the river to the sea, which is essentially advocating for the annihilation of the Jewish people, is what it is, a genocide. Meanwhile, a preacher can be out in the streets, say some very confrontational things, because the Bible is a very confrontational book when you proclaim it, right, against certain sins, whether it be LGBTQ+. And I don't hate these people. I want to go on record as saying I do not hate these individuals. It is construed as that. I just preach against their sin, right? Their sin, and they do not like that. And that, by many, is being construed as hate speech. You have Mark Miller going on record wanting to literally ban certain passages of the Bible so they cannot be used as a legal defense with his bill, I believe, C9, if not mistaken. These very things, and it's very concerning for me as a pastor and as a preacher.
Clearly, there are situations in these texts where these statements are hateful. They should not be used to invoke or be a defense, and there should perhaps be discretion for prosecutors to press charges. I just want to understand what your notion of good faith is in this context, where there are clearly passages in religious texts that are clearly hateful.
Well, folks, it's been more than an hour of this nonsense here at the corner, but I think things are wrapping up and winding down. I think the good news is, and I'm looking for the positives, the turnout, as you can see, based on previous demonstrations, is pathetic. I guess there's a manner of hate fatigue sitting in. It has been more than 2 years. And right now, they're trying to block the footage, but they're praying. But thankfully, they're not praying on Shepherd or Bathurst Street and blocking traffic, because we have seen in the past law enforcement allowing that, which is downright despicable. And it's always a good day when independent journalists are not arrested, and there hasn't been arrests made of anyone here today trying to cover the hate fest. And I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to say hello to Officer McDuff. Do you remember Officer McDuff? He's the guy that arrested my beloved boss man, Ezra Levent, when Ezra was trying to practice journalism here. Check this out.
So you're refusing to leave?
I'm refusing to leave.
Why?
Because I'm a Jew, I'm a citizen, and I'm your boss. And I don't leave if you say Jews aren't
Well, you know
allowed on
what?
the street.
In the interest of keeping peace here and public safety, you're under arrest for breach of the peace. Take a minute.
Good. Oh, Macduff. And you know, I think of the character Macduff from the Shakespearean play Macbeth. And I had one quote for him had I seen him here today. And it's this from Act 2, Scene 2. Quote, "I know this is a joyful trouble for you," end quote. Now, folks, I should point out that after the hate fest ended, well, wouldn't you know it, a handful of the Hamas holes snuck away to march through a Jewish residential neighborhood. This time they were followed by the police, so they were on their best behavior, i.e. they were not harassing residents. They were just marching along, flying those garish Palestinian flags. How much longer is this going to continue for? We have no idea, but here, check out the footage.
But the biblical way of salvation, the way to get saved is simple. It's to believe, to repent and believe.
Keep jumping! Keep jumping! Come on! Keep jumping! Keep pushing! Keep jumping!
Unbelievable. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Folks, as you can see, we brought our beautiful Jumbotron-equipped truck with us. It is flagging the message, nohate.ca. If you're sick and tired of this ongoing hate fest that we see all over the streets of our great Dominion, please go to nohate.ca, sign the petition, and if you're able to, kindly make a donation so that we can recover our costs. Thank you.